Finally, the most boring international break is over, and it starts with Aston Villa at home. Probably the most boring derby in England, but it's a derby. We have to have it. And Aston Villa are an interesting one. Because when you look at the Premier League table before Gerrard took over, we were eighth, as we always are. We're in an abusive relationship with eighth. Villa were down in 16th, and then when you look at the Premier League table since that day, we're in seventh. Villa in eighth. So I've never really been the biggest fan of Steven Gerrard, to be honest, as a player or a manager. I remember a lot of our fans wanted him. I didn't really see the hype. I still don't. I think he's done a fine job with a very good squad, but was underperforming under Dean Smith. But I think he's done a fine job. I just think people acted like he'd completed Scottish football, and it's like he won one trophy out of nine. It was just, I don't know. I thought it was a bit weird, but look, Villa are a good job for him, and he's doing a good job so far. It won't be an easy game, of course. Obviously, we're right next to each other in the league, and they're 10 points behind us with a game in hand. So if they win this game, win their game in hand, all of a sudden eighth looks, precarious. And as good as this season's been, you can't finish below Aston Villa. You just can't. Like that, it just makes it such an L if we finish ninth. Like we've been in eighth basically the whole year. I don't think we will lose this game, by the way, but I think if you win this game, it kind of guarantees you eighth. And all I've heard people doing over the last week or two is like, oh, what if West Ham win the Europa League? Does the Europa League drop to eighth or whatever? We can't drop below eighth. I think if you win this game, it's a home game. It gives you we've got a nice run of games. It gives you good momentum, and it kind of solidifies eighth. You don't have to worry about that. It's just the lineup I pick. I think it's pretty obvious. I feel like everyone would pick this lineup. The reason I've gone with two-man midfield, by the way, when we played Villa last time, we played. I know this has like Dendoncker on the right, but he did play in the middle. We played a 3-5-2, and it was a Dharma and a Hwang up front. And I know we won this game 3-2, and it was great and whatever, and we deserved to win it in the end. I accept that, but we were awful this game. I don't know if anyone really remembers it, but the first 70 minutes of this game was embarrassing. We were so bad. Dean Smith actually got his tactics right until substitutions and stuff. So I'd probably go over midfield too, and obviously with the Ruben Neves injury as well. He'll only miss 4 games. I think people, when you look at the fixture list, there's only 4 games in April. Like I think people overreacted a little bit. I think we can handle those 4 games without Ruben Neves. We should be able to, but I rate Luke Condor. I've wanted him to start a bit more and play a bit more, but he will get games now off the bench because Moutinho can't play every game, or he'll want to solidify it or whatever. Luke Condor will play games, so there's no need to like just start him for the sake of starting it. And I think with Trincão's performance against Leeds, obviously the first half, the second half was questionable, but we all know what happened. But the first half he was good. It was his best performance of the season. Well, it was up there. I don't actually think it was. It was up there. It's just he had the output. And fans are kind of starting to get on side now, which I think is a bit weird because I've had so much stick on Twitter from people because I apparently have a Trincão agenda and all this. I don't rate Trincão ridiculously highly. I just think he gets way too much criticism. But he's just scored. He's just got an assist. I know it was like 2 weeks ago now, but you might as well start him in the side and kind of just give him a run. Like we've got nothing to lose this season. Like let's be honest. And the whole Vitinha thing, like apparently Liverpool want Vitinha and stuff, and all I hear people go is, wow, we should have given him more of a chance. He's obviously great, blah, blah, blah. And Trincão's in a very similar situation. He's playing in a bad Wolves side in terms of the attack. I know our defence is great. Like, the back five have been great, but we're not a particularly good attacking side. None of our attackers have really thrived this season. So I think it's a bit harsh to, like, chuck it all on Trincão. So in the last 8 games, just kind of go a bit more open. Give him a chance. Because if he plays terribly in these last 8-9 games, then you can go, yeah, fair enough, he didn't earn it. But after a goal and assist, give him a run in the side. It's not like Hwang and Potence and Fabio Silva are in ridiculous form anyway. Give him a chance, see what happens. Obviously, Fabio Silva has to start. Again, I feel like he's deserved a chance. I feel like a lot of people have been getting a bit annoyed with Raul Jimenez anyway. And then you need Daniel Potence because he's the only guy in our team that can actually create anything or, play any sort of progressive pass. I wouldn't start Luke Condor because I don't see what the point is. Obviously, Marcel doesn't play. Apparently, he's going to Botafogo or something in Brazil. So there's no point playing him anyway. Rain Nuri is the future of that position. We're only going to be playing 1 game a week. Play Nuri. And then I don't see the point in playing Bolly. This back five's worked for us basically the whole season, obviously bar Johnny. I assume Smedo won't be back for this, by the way, which is why I put Johnny in. But I don't really see the point in starting Willy Bolly. He's injury prone anyway. I don't see the point in risking him. He came in for the Watford game, played well, but that's Watford. And I just don't really see what the logic is. This back three's been good. I know Safe had a bit of a dodgy spell recently, and Kilman had a couple of off games, but that's expected to happen. They're not, I know Jose Sa had a bad game, obviously not going to drop him. Villa, their away record and their home record is pretty the same, so it doesn't really. I don't think home advantage is going to matter too much. I know it is a derby, but it's not. It's not really a derby. It's such an average derby. Like I know we try and force it, and so do they. Like it's not just Wolves fans that do it, but we kind of have to, right? Just because Birmingham and West Brom are incompetent, but it's not really a proper derby. Let's be honest. But one thing I thought was interesting as well is about their goalkeeper, because when you look at Emiliano Martinez in terms of post-shot XG, he's literally the second worst in the league, next to Ben Foster and Ilan Meslier. And obviously we've played Watford and Leeds recently, and I think we've exposed both of those goalkeepers pretty well. And we took a lot of shots in those games. I don't know if it's just because they're playing for bad sides, or because we were at home for both those games, whatever. But we actually took shots at Ilan Meslier, we took shots at Ben Foster, and it worked. I'm not saying like Wolves are doing this on purpose, but when you're playing against goalkeepers that are in bad form, have shots. Wolves never had shots. We have like 10 shots per 90, like on average. We might as well start testing these goalkeepers, because we're playing against the second worst goalkeeper in the league. I know he was great last season, and he deserved a lot of credit, and everyone was calling him world class. But Jose Sa's the complete opposite. He's actually got world class numbers. So yeah, in this game, it's at home, it's a derby. I'd go 3-4-3. I'd play a front three, try and get loads of shots off. Fabio Silva's really good at that. I know people don't like Fabio Silva, but he presses a lot and he gets good shots away. Or he gets a lot of shots anyway. He has high shot volume. I think he's at like 2.5 shots per night. That's pretty good for a striker. It's better than Raul Jimenez. And a lot of our other players as well. So, and then Trincão's in good form. I don't know. I'm not really worried about this game. They've got a dodgy goalkeeper. We're at home. We've got players in form. And I know Ruben will be a miss. And I know Raul Jimenez will be a miss. But I'd back us to win this game. And if it does, it solidifies at 8th. And we can kind of just not worry about dropping below Villa and kind of just focus on the last few games and just kind of hope to get Europe and keep the last few weeks of the season exciting. Because if we lose this game and then we drop below Villa, and then it just becomes boring. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and yeah, peace.